Can I have pledge of allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call?
Longbright.
Here.
Giramini.
Here.
Ingram.
Here.
Matt.
Here.
Toronto.
Here.
Approval of, or do I have to make to excuse Diane, Kathy, and Cody? Can I get a motion?
Motion to excuse the absent members.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, approval of agenda and addition, or any additions. Do we have any additions?
No, I don't have any.
I don't have any.
Motion to approve agenda?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approval of minutes, the regular meeting minutes from June 20th, 2022. Do you have a motion to approve those minutes?
Okay, let me just skim.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Approval of the work session from June 27th, 2022. Can I get a motion to approve?
Yep, motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Chairman report, communications board. I don't have anything personally. We have our call to the public.
So hi,
That would be you.
my name is Laura Waterworth. I'm a resident of Wolverine Lake Village, and I'm.
Can you state your, they usually have you
Oh, my
state your-
address? Yeah, it's 11100 Egret Lane,
Okay.
and I am a recent appointed member of the Commerce Township Parks and Recs Committee.
Okay.
So I figure as being part of that, and
Yeah.
a resident here,
Yeah.
Okay.
actually just come to your meetings,
Yeah.
see what you guys are doing,
Okay.
and share information or help collaborate with the two township and village.
Awesome.
Good.
Appreciate that.
What's your name?
Laura?
Laura.
Nice to meet you, Laura.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Any new business that we discussed?
I don't think so.
Continuing business, zoo bus trip. I know Kathy's not here, so I was the one that went. So we had 2 people cancel, so we had 10 people go to the zoo.
Nice.
And we were lucky it wasn't too hot, and though our bus did break down, luckily we weren't on it.
Oh.
So like we had a replacement bus, but we would do it again, so. Tuesdays in the park, I know that's Kathy's too, but.
I thought it went well
Yeah.
for the nature. Kids liked the turtle,
Yeah.
and the spin art went over really well. So
That was fun.
I thought
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
having,
Yeah, I was surprised people
Fewer
just kept
options.
coming, and, yeah.
I thought we did pretty well. And yeah, it was better. It was probably a little more of people came and went rather than stayed for the whole time.
Yeah.
As, like the previous one, but overall, for what we had, smaller, less child educational offering.
Yeah.
Kids actually did pretty good and showed
Yeah.
up. So I think we're pretty good for the next one. I don't think there's anything outstanding. We have plenty
Yeah.
of snow cone stuff and
Yeah.
popcorn,
Yeah.
and it's the tower,
Yeah.
climbing tower. So.
Is there bounce houses, do we know, or no?
No,
Just
the
climbing tower? Okay.
So we'll do, I figure pretty much similar idea otherwise. The climbing tower will be out there over the blacktop, and then we'll have the yard games and stuff like that
Yeah.
out and stuff, so.
And was there a certain yard game that had to be replaced?
Oh, the ladders game? Yeah.
Was it the
I
ladder
mean,
game?
Yeah, we can, I think it's probably, we'll look at it.
Or- Okay.
I mean, that's not something that's urgent, so.
Yeah, okay. All right. Summer garage sale.
It's posted and and advertised, so hopefully some folks will sign up and enjoy it.
Okay. Fishing contest.
Yep. So we got the flyer here. I gotta make, I guess there's one change here at the bottom I didn't do, so I gotta fix that. So that'll go, I'll get that done tonight, so Paige can post that tomorrow morning. Talk to Bait Shop about ordering everything, so they've got a list of what we need, so we've got that. Waiting for them to get that done. once I get I'm waiting for an actual quote from them right now, so I gotta follow up with them and get that. But that gets presented at the corn roast, so we'll have plenty of time for that. I do need people for votes and people for the fishing contest, so if anyone on the board knows of anyone, I'll ask Paige to send out an invite tomorrow once I send this, or when I send over the email. So I do need people, so we'll get that. Last year, we kind of played it to the last, like right the meeting before, so we were able to get enough people, so I don't suspect we'll have any issues, but if everyone on the board and anyone listening could help, that'd be really appreciated, so we can get the right amount of people.
Can't have too many.
Can never have too many, and it's always nice to wake up early and get on the water. Like, I don't know, watching the sunrise on the water is pretty beautiful.
So when you said the fishing place was going to give it, do they also do this stuff for the goodie bags, or is that something the little bags you give out, is that just for the?
Do we still need to get some stuff for that?
Yeah, they'll hook that up. They did that last year, so I got that included in the quote too.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Did we have to check, because I was down at the storage unit, do we have to check the scales or anything? Is that something that has to be looked at? Or?
Wouldn't hurt to do that. We might need another digital scale. But yeah, it wouldn't hurt for us to go through it all and make sure it's all in.
The ones last year, was there something wrong with them? I thought we could look at getting a digital one if
We have digitals, but I think we may have one got damaged or lost or something like that.
Okay.
So we might be short. Well, then we've got the analog ones. But I think generally it's just easier to have all digital or all analog, because people get
confused.
Or they'll say, oh, that one's too sensitive, the analogs are more sensitive, or digitals are more sensitive.
Yeah.
But the only problem with the digital is people don't understand you have to teach them how to put the basket on and weigh it with the basket on and weigh it off, and then it's just, you teach them once and they figure it out.
Right.
It's not hard.
Yeah, I'll just pick up one if we need an extra one.
It's only $15.
Yeah.
Expensive.
I'll have to get that taken care of.
Might need batteries.
Yeah.
I probably need batteries.
So then just, okay.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. I've got some ideas. We'll reach out to the people last year that helped out with volunteering too and see what we can do.
You have that list, or?
I don't have the actual list on me right now, but
No, I mean, you have it, you don't need to get, I don't have it.
Yeah.
I'll text the person, the boat that I got
Yeah.
again, and see if they can help out
yeah,
and stuff like that, and so, we'll see.
I'm not too worried about it right now.
Okay,
Do we have another meeting before that, or this
No.
is it? So
This is it.
we want to make sure.
No idea.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll get it done.
okay.
But if we have we can also talk about the fishing contest if we decide to have another corn roast meeting before that too.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
Okay. Corn roast meeting, I was gonna say Mark, but it's not Mark, it's.
it's a little of everybody.
Yes.
Molly's just the lucky one who got her name put on it. So, when everything goes
The only
wrong,
one
it's
I'm
her
tied
fault.
to. That's right. Do we want to schedule the next corn roast one now, and whoever can make it can make it?
Probably a good idea.
Okay, let's see. So our next meeting isn't until the 15th. What about either the week of August 1st or August 8th?
Both would work.
Is everyone around Monday, August 8th? We could just do,
I should be,
August
Yeah.
8th.
yeah.
Double check it.
That's the first Monday of August, right?
It's the
Second.
Oh, yeah, read the first.
The first?
Yeah, first would be first.
There you go.
Can we do like a day other than Monday?
Tuesday?
I'm good with Tuesday.
Tuesday's fine.
Tuesday works.
Tuesday the 9th,
Yep.
7 p.m.? Okay. That works. Tuesday, 9 at 7 p.m.
I did start passing out flyers at the farmer's market for the vendors.
Awesome.
For apps, but of course it was raining last week, so there weren't that many there.
Oh, yeah.
And we're competing with Wixom, so
Oh,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Theirs is the same day or something.
Yeah.
I went to see Kyle at Penny Lake today, so I'll get Paige and Tabitha all the licensing paperwork later this week, and once that's done, that'll be good. So, other than that, I think we're on our way.
Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
I got a few businesses that want to sponsor, or like they want to donate something for like something, so I don't know if we want to do that stamp thing officially, or do we want to do the vendor visit thing, or do we want to try to have a silent auction? What would we want to do for that? Or we just want to get them to try and, sponsor the event?
Well, we
Maybe
could-
just do that.
I think I'd rather have either sponsoring is of course great and easy for us.
So that's easy, yeah.
But if they want to give something, we can figure out a way to give it away. If we can't do a silent auction or what have you, we can still just give stuff away, because as long as it's not contingent on somebody spending money for it, we can give it away and promote their business anyways.
Sure.
Sort of like what we did at the Easter Bunny thing.
Oh,
And so-
but how would we know? They would still have to get a ticket,
Well,
right?
people would just enter their names for it.
Oh,
things
yeah,
like that.
that's what I
It would just
meant.
be, yeah, you would just,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, you could almost just give away a ticket as soon as they buy any ticket, just,
Yeah.
buying food
Or if
tickets,
we
you give
have-
them tickets.
Or if there's something that's kids-oriented, we can
Yeah.
think of something with the kids tent,
Mm-hmm.
or something like that, I don't know. But I mean, I'd rather, that's a problem I'd like to have,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah,
Better to
okay.
have that problem than not, like, too much.
Yeah.
stuff.
So it's safe to say just go out and get what we can get.
And that, yeah,
Ask
because that
questions
way,
later.
and then we'll figure it out. I mean, because, again, as long as we're not incurring, we avoid that
Okay.
whole.
Yeah, because that's the thing, it's like, they don't know really what we can do.
We can certainly give away their stuff.
Yeah, say, but that's the thing, we could give it away.
Because because if, whoever wins, before you give, you pick the name, you say this is from blah, 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 and they
Yeah.
get free advertisement.
I think we have, I know like the village can't collect the money for like the profit or something, from my understanding. It has to be like donated, so like something like a donation of like just say like a cookie tray or something, right? That can be auctioned off. I think that is allowed, but we can't collect monetary like money, right? That's my understanding of the rule with those types of events.
You mean
So it's
you mean
gift
from the
cards type of
guests?
thing?
From the, yeah.
From the
people.
guests coming, you can't.
Yeah, so we can, like, let's just say we wanted to collect money and like buy a basket or something, we couldn't do that from my understanding. It would have to be like a donation of a object, so, but I think Dave Gillen would have more
Yeah, we'll clear it up.
clarity on.
Oh, you're
what
saying
the-
like a business can't say, I want to donate $500 to the corn roast?
Correct.
We
Oh, they
can't
could.
accept that?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, they can.
We've done
I
that.
don't, or no, like, and give it like for profit for the village is what I'm saying. Like, we would just have to get it clarified with
They
Dave
can
Gillen.
donate money and be a sponsor, and that's fine,
Mm-hmm.
as long as we define them as such.
So what if we state that, and can we do that and get a basket of some sort, or?
Well, that's
use
where
ours?
it
Is
gets, that's
that
where it gets,
something
well,
we're
so it's
allowed to
more,
do?
how do you give out the award?
Yeah.
So
It's
it's,
like, yeah, it's, how do we give it
Right.
out? That's the real dilemma.
because you can't do a raffle or any kind of game of chance.
So you can't, so when people come, you can't have them fill out a piece of paper with their
Yes,
name
you
and
can.
address?
As long as, I think you can do a game of chance that doesn't require
Money.
financial purchase.
Yeah.
But you can't do it. So it is, I was just on their site today, actually, the gaming stuff for something else, and it is, there's a lot of layers.
Yeah.
This is I'm trying to put it,
Have we ever thought of something like if a business says, I want to donate $500 to the corn roast, and instead of doing some sort of gift basket or exchange of goods, we can put a sign like, bounce house for kids provided by
yeah.
Yeah,
this
We've done-
business,
that's been
and there
done
you
in the
go.
past, where
yeah, we
they-
could do something.
Like XYZ has sponsored, so frequently with the orthodontist, it's something along those lines that
Yeah.
we've done. And if we were earlier in the cycle with the ad, we could put their logo on the flyer and things
Mhm.
like that to promote them. And then like what we do with Penny Lake, we hang the banner.
Right.
So those are all options that we can do. It's sort of like when you drive by the Walled Lake Central Tennis Courts, and they've got the ads up, and when you drive by the Hickory Glen here, all the baseball teams have got sponsors, all the fields do, so
Yeah.
they do, those are all things that we can do.
Yeah.
Cash is always easier than prizes, but a lot of
Right.
companies obviously like to give away stuff they've got,
Mhm.
and that makes a lot of sense, because they want people to come to the door, because they, hey, I've got this gift card, I've got, this oil change, whatever it is, so.
Right.
We were going back and forth in this last year. I thought about something. We checked with Dave and the money. I can't remember what
That was for like raffles of any kind, and that's
Right.
where we found, we are hard no, we are not allowed.
And that
to.
was exchange for money.
That's
That
why
was the
you've got-
raffle, that's
You've got to
right.
go through a
Okay.
501c3 to do that, so.
Yeah,
And we're not 513.
The village is not, no.
that's what it was.
The village is
yeah.
a nonprofit entity,
Yeah.
but it doesn't
Not-
qualify as a charity.
Yeah.
However, when you do donate to a village, a municipality like the village, it is tax deductible as long as the money is being used for public good,
Yeah.
which is a pretty broad statement, so.
Right.
And we do have a nonprofit group that's going to
Correct.
do our 50/50.
Yes.
Okay.
So that part we're covered. Yeah, we can, I will make sure to email Dave and talk to him about that.
Because that's the one thing, like you're saying, so since we can't do a raffle, that's the problem, we wouldn't really be able to give away the things unless you, like, somehow we're just picking and choosing who you
Right.
gave it away to, and then.
Yeah, who wants it?
I almost feel like that's even worse.
Well, I mean,
It's more of a-
usually
You're like
everybody
picking
comes to the
favorites.
food, the ticket tent.
Yeah.
So if you have a table with the basket there,
But then you're like down, because
It's
like
almost
you
like-
said, you have to purchase the tickets, so now you have to
No.
purchase
Essentially, it's a
something.
door prize dynamic without
Yeah.
somebody having to pay to enter, is all.
Yeah.
Which isn't.
that's why I said you have the basket. I'm
it
just
doesn't
saying
benefit-
sitting by
it might-
me.
It doesn't
because-
necessarily benefit us a ton,
Yeah.
but it is good for community
Yeah.
cohesion and awareness and business relationships.
So, like, would we be able
And
to
in
do
the long
that?
term are beneficial.
Is that still okay? Is
I
that
would
still the
like to, I hope
technicality
so. I
of?
will find out.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's still even like, well, technically you're raffling still.
Yeah,
It's
and if
still a
and if I don't
chance.
find out, then you guys are
I
also
think-
welcome to talk.
It has to
Because
be
I was
for
part of a
profit.
501(c), so, but we still, you had to be established for over a year in Michigan to be able to take money.
Yeah.
So we had to do the games of chances, kind of like we would have to do. As long as you were not exchanging money for goods, you were able to do it. So I know you're going to double check, but I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure that you
it's-
can.
Yeah, I'll get through it.
Yeah.
I will make sure to now, because I have other questions about that anyways now, so.
Okay.
Yeah, because like I said, they just, like, the businesses, they just want to know what
Yeah,
they,
what they can do.
what they can do, what they should do, what they should do.
I'll get that answer for you.
How fast can we get like some signs made if we wanted to, if someone does want to donate,
I would think probably like 2 weeks.
Okay. So you can say that too, like if you'd
We've got-
rather
there are
just
quite a
have your
few-
logo and name and say
Well,
you.
some of them will.
Or I like how you said, like,
Sponsoring.
have them sponsor, like an inflatable. Like,
Yeah.
have them,
Some
like,
have their
something like
own
that.
stuff that
Yeah.
they'll want to have out there on display, and some, we've used it, like in the past, we've had sponsors for the fishing contest and we've used, and so I still have some of their signs in my garage,
Okay.
which, why? We should have them in the park and rec garage. So, but, yeah, so, or we can have them made up, and it doesn't take long, and there's a lot of sign people in
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
village.
Oh,
with
yeah.
that.
Yeah, okay.
So, that's certainly doable.
Okay.
Holiday Day decorating contest, that is me. I did come out with some categories, but I wasn't able to print them, so I'll email everybody the different categories I was thinking for the different holiday.
Are we gonna, on that topic, are we gonna try and talk with Tabitha and Paige about setting up a different way to submit entries?
Yeah, I was thinking, I haven't talked to her about it, but I'm wondering if we could just do it through Google. Have
Yes,
her post on a shared link,
yes.
and then House A, House B, House C, rather than it flooding our inboxes.
And it can
us
just be
being really
constantly
confused.
updated, right? We can go back
Yeah.
in and look.
And it will just refresh as she does it. That's how, like, On and Up did it so that they could all be informed on who's signed up for golf and stuff. And I
That
just
would be
set up
so
a Google
nice.
page and had an Excel file on there,
Yeah,
and it worked really well.
So what, like, when she puts a new entry in, it just automatically updates and
Right,
something.
and I did this, in fact, I actually did do this a few years ago when we did a park walkthrough. I took a bunch of pictures, instead of sending them all the pictures, I just put it on Google and shared it so that, because
Like
otherwise.
Google
the file
Docs,
was-
like
yeah,
everything.
It was gigantic, so there was no way, I couldn't just email it in.
Yeah.
And this way, they could look at them, we could all reference them, we could even make notes and comments if needed.
And change it even too.
And
Yeah,
so,
this would be so nice.
I think that would be easier, just in the sense of, rather than having this weird system with the inboxes where, what if for whatever reason one gets into your spam or you accidentally delete it?
Always.
So, yeah,
Like, I'm
that
missing
was-
entries
so
K
it
through
doesn't make
M.
any
Anyone
sense.
have them?
So I think that would, I'll see if we can do, and the good news is, they're getting some new tech, new hardware,
Okay.
so that should help.
I think that'd be
them
nice for us.
Function.
Yeah.
As long as they can get their phone working.
Well, that was part of updating the
Yeah.
hardware, so.
Thank you for doing that.
I know Diane's not here, Snacks with Santa. I talked to her, and she said she's still waiting to hear from Santa.
But I think the snacks
yeah.
might be cookies. I have a good feeling the snacks might be cookies.
Yes.
Maybe Cody can be Santa this year, just like the Easter Bunny.
I think a ginger Santa might with some kids. I don't know.
We're gonna have a whole Buddy the Elf meltdown with some little kid.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be screaming that he smells like beef and cheese and that he's not the real Santa, so I don't know if we want that happening. That would be-
He's Santa, I'll be a snowman. Add that to the record, so.
Letters with Santa, Diane, so we'll wait on that. Any new or additional events? Go ahead.
I did want to add something actually for the fishing tournament. So the Tim gentleman that owns the bait shop, he's I got clearance through Dave that he can be on one of the boats and sell bait during the fishing tournament. So he got clearance from the DNR. So I got with him. So that'll be kind of
Oh,
a
that's
cool
cool.
addition for the tournament.
Will he be doing weigh-ins too, or will he just be selling bait?
He said he's trying to get people, so we'll see.
Oh, okay, because I was saying, if he did both at the same time, that'd be awesome. Either way, it's still cool. We were talking about that a few years ago, like having them when we had the barge the one time, but it's just, they were open, but yeah. Having on-site bait seems like a useful.
Yeah, so he's awesome. He's good people. Happy to have him helping us out here at the village.
Diane did bring up to me about, she had talked about the community share,
Oh, yeah.
and she sent me 2 pictures. I emailed everybody.
Yeah, I saw it.
There's like one with on a trailer, and then one
Okay, I
just
didn't- For
freestanding.
whatever reason, only the freestanding one showed up.
One was like sent, one was like a PDF, and I think one was like a
Oh,
image
okay,
or something.
maybe that was why.
Like, there were 2
Yeah,
different
maybe
types
how-
of images.
Maybe
that-
it's her
I
original
don't know.
picture. I just sent them all the
Okay.
same way, so, okay.
And that is a cool idea for a share, like a vegetable, like garden, like share thing. I mean, I don't know where you put it at. Maybe
That's why I said if it's portable, you could move it, technically, you could move it wherever, but.
yeah. But the other thing is, where would you park it then? If you're gonna move it.
I mean, it makes sense to put it somewhere in the park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere along Claremont Road. Like,
Somewhere visible.
yeah, and probably in that middle area, really.
That's,
Like in the wide open.
They've got cameras by that bathroom stall, don't they?
a camera for now, but Chief did get a new quote for an updated security system that would, not only for here, but for the park. And that would include a significantly larger number of cameras, better placed, more of the 180, 360 kind of cameras to give us a better view of the goings-on. Because right now, the one camera is just positioned, it's direct.
At the
and
doors,
it's just
right.
over the ladies' room. So
It's just over the ladies' room.
not a creepy way, just, that's where it is.
To
So
keep
there's
the
a-
ladies safe.
It's a
That's
very
what it's for.
limited coverage, and this one would, not only would we have more cameras on this side of Claremont, we'd also have a camera by the memorial as well, so that would be covered, and so that will be, at some point in this new fiscal year that we're now in,
Yeah.
will get brought to council. He'd gotten a quote back in 2020, so it was just an old quote, and he'd want, obviously with everything, he wanted to get an updated one before he brought it to council.
Yeah. I think that makes sense because I know the bathroom's been vandalized in the past at the park, so, you know, I think that is a great idea, the vegetable, I saw that picture. I just think that it's important that we make sure, because if we put time into getting something like that, we don't want it to get destroyed. You know?
Well, I think the library, you know, all those little libraries around, people don't mess with those. So.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like if you had it, it'd almost be better to have in the neighborhood, like in one of the sides of the lake, like in somebody's yard kind of thing.
Could be a thing that we, instead of necessarily Parks and Rec doing and having in the park,
We could have it on
Parks and
easement.
Rec promotes and works with the homeowners associations of the local areas, and you could have them, so you could have one in like where you live.
Yeah.
And we could have one in.
On the north side.
I can't think of your places,
Yeah.
Navajo Beach and stuff like that, and Spring Lake Heights, and all these places potentially. And that way, yeah, you'd have a little more local control, unless, yeah, you could, I don't know, people could walk to theirs.
How much
and
access do we
stuff.
have to like the easements, like the easements?
Like the
bet-
road endings?
Yeah, the road endings.
Access, like, well, they're not parks.
So they're not parks.
They are legally not. There is a defined set of things that can be done on them. That was very carefully figured out about 6 years ago.
And that's when all the signs were
Yeah.
put in.
Yes, so we.
That's when the rules
We would
changed.
not want to tread on those for multiple reasons. One of them is, I mean, they were originally designed for fire trucks, a road ending, so that fire trucks could get water back before. I mean, this is an old village, so that is one of the reasons why they are the way they are. That's
Well,
why
that fire
you-
truck's not ever gonna leave
Otherwise-
near that lake.
Otherwise, the village can't, you know, otherwise, I'm just saying, otherwise the village couldn't, that's why the village can't just take them and sell them. Because those are 40-foot wide lots, you could sell those easily
Yeah.
and make a mint. But legally, you can't, so, as far as I understand. But that's why they are, they are. But yeah, the rules that are there are well-defined.
You don't think you could fit in the community
I think
neighborhood?
that would create certain other issues, like, because it does say on there, you can't just hang out there.
Yeah, it's like, that's the thing.
Yeah,
Now
so
you
that's the
can't
thing.
even hang out.
So we don't, so that would encourage hanging out, or whatever
So
the term is.
I'm confused. You can't, you don't
can
have
use
access?
it.
You can
take
use
the
it,
road
you
ending,
can't
to,
stay
like,
there.
Launch your kayak
Oh.
with you on there, you can go there, go swimming.
Oh, right.
But you can't fish and hang out,
Oh,
and
okay.
you can't put a motorized
Sunbathe
vehicle
down
on it.
there and-
You can't tan, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a whole list, like there's the rules.
Yeah, it was one of those, it was a little.
Yeah, I was confused about that. You could access the
On the
lake
other
from
hand,
it. Okay.
if HOAs want to open up their spaces, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, and we also do have a couple pocket parks, so that's another option as well.
Yeah, I mean, there is that,
So-
so.
And other village properties that haven't been designated for anything yet.
Okay.
We have
I don't
lots
know
that
where
we-
those are,
Oh, the
so,
village
yeah.
owns a lot on Dunreath, for example.
Oh, okay.
And.
Oh, yeah, that one lot.
The end of the road.
Yeah.
And things like that. The village has, of course, the well stations and all these other things, and a lot of just spaces that are unbuildable spots
Yeah.
that the village owns.
I mean, yeah, because I mean, we could really put it in.
So I don't know what the legal limits there are for those kinds of things are,
Okay.
but yeah, there's all kinds of options.
Basically, there's the parks, like, I mean, there's
What else?
There's Oak Island Park,
Oak Island. and there's-
Amenia.
Amenia,
there's-
and then.
There's the whole cut through of Clara Miller.
Yeah, there's a whole.
Clara Miller, and you could
Yeah.
literally have more than one in Clara Miller, and it would serve different
Yeah.
communities within the village. So, yeah, there's options.
Yeah, I like that better where you can walk. I'd be more apt to drop
Yeah.
stuff off rather than have to drive to the park.
Like if you went, let's say you went to a meeting with the girls and to play and stuff, and it's like, well, you went there, you said, okay, let's put these plants that we had left over in
Exactly,
there.
yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
you know, these oranges you guys didn't eat, we stick
Yep.
them in there, or whatever they
can listen
didn't
to
like your
us.
muffins or whatever.
Yeah,
You know?
so even stuff you bake, you know, you
Yeah.
put baked goods on, you know.
Of course, that would attract all kinds of fun things, but
I mean, you know, that's a part of the game, you
Yeah.
know.
We probably have to figure out
feeding
then
the public and feeding each other.
someone or a couple people like checking in, making sure that like food's not just sitting there going bad and
Raccoons aren't going to
attracting.
tell.
I said, don't worry, the
Yeah.
raccoons, they'll check
Well,
for
I
us.
know.
Yeah,
we
I
don't
think
want-
that, I mean, I didn't ask Diane, like, the one picture she showed me, the one on the trailer was from Howell, and the other one was from Wixom. But yeah, how would you keep,
Yeah,
You'd have to lock it
Animals.
up at night, that would somehow,
for
or
sure.
And then
have
it's
it
who's doing that.
closable or something, have like a lid on it or
Just a
something,
latch.
the latch or,
Mhm.
That's what I would say, you'd have to have like a door latch.
Pop-up door though.
Yeah. Well, all it needs to be is a latch, like you
Yeah.
said. Raccoon shouldn't
The
be.
deer would go in there too.
Oh, the deer, oh, yeah, the
I've
deer.
been having issues with the deer, so. I think it's a great idea. I just think
Yeah.
it's gonna take some execution work, I think.
Pending business, shelving update for Keller Miller Park.
Not much to update now. I mean, they're in and they did ink them, so they
Yeah.
look good. Now we just gotta get in there
Organized.
and start stacking it.
I started organizing it. I got just like 3 bins and I'm done. But I did move like all the fishing stuff up, all the cornwall stuff up, and push like Christmas and Easter towards the back, so you won't be going, oh, wait, where's the napkins for the cornrows or whatever?
Oh, yeah. I'll check that out at our next corner roast meeting. Will you be there? So
Yeah, I
the key.
should be
Okay.
there.
And
Okay.
the cornrows meeting's always there.
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Weather permitting, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
true.
So if it's not weather permitting, it's here then?
If it's snowing, then we probably won't be
If it's
there.
raining, we'll still probably meet there if it's raining.
Oh, okay.
We got the.
I think we're gonna be on the
Yeah.
pavilion,
If
right?
it's
I mean,
storming, we'll probably go into
I mean,
the,
we'll find a way. We'll just meet there, period. 'cause it's
oh,
easier.
okay. I say, I mean, like, I'm not too worried as long as we're in the pavilion. I mean, you know. Like you said, as long as it's not snowing, we'll be fine.
Veterans Memorial update?
Everything's looking good. Bricks will be in a couple of weeks, it looks like, so we'll get those installed. We had a meeting where we reviewed our structure and everything else, because since everything's pretty much installed, it's more of a focus now on the bricks, installations, and maintenance of the memorial, and then holidays, Veterans Day, and Memorial Day, and things that we might do to recognize those kinds of things. And, spend some money on just clean up in the materials and things that we needed.
Yeah, those benches look really good.
It looks great, and, thank you. And we got another sponsorship for another bench, so that was good.
Oh,
And,
sweet.
So, yeah, we have 2 benches left open for sponsorship and 1 flag. So the Space Force flag is up for sponsorship still. So if anybody would like to take that one on, that'd be great. And then I know the plaques were ordered, so we're going to have a bunch of new plaques put in soon, recognizing donors and things like that. Yeah.
Beautification Subcommittee. The chair, Julie, is not here, but I know she's going to meet with the lady that came last month, Amanda,
Yeah.
and see what they,
Yeah, they were working on something that sounded like.
Amelia Park update.
Still exists, right?
Last time I walked by, it was still there.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's still there.
No
I haven't heard
insight on
anything- And I
the.
haven't heard anything about the swings. No.
Yeah.
So Clara Miller Park, that's still the,
I haven't heard anything there. I mean, I know they did approve all that stuff, but we're still just very early in that process.
But it's the best park, number one park.
the blood drive. I know it says table, but
So I looked into it, like, apparently this room is too small. Like,
Okay.
because they want, like, a gymnasium, like, or like an office of, office that holds like 50, 60 people, because they're like, I guess they were saying, like, you gotta have enough room where you can close off a room and have a private, like, Q&A session, and then also another few private places to, draw the blood and all that. So it's like, well, shoot, that's like, really, like, you'd be able to do maybe 5 little stations in here, and they're like, yeah, that's not big enough.
oh,
So there's that. And then also, others said is that you have to have like somehow a commitment that you're gonna get like at least 100 units.
How do you?
You have to like sign up people like, for
Yeah.
like months and months, and then
okay.
your numbers have to be like, I think, what was it, double what it takes to get those 100 units, because they say like half the people, like,
Flake out.
yeah, they're like, 20% are just gonna not show up. Then another 20% are not gonna be compatible. And then another 10% are, gonna have reactions.
Blood
or,
alcohol level too high to.
Yeah, all that.
count as blood.
So that's why I was like, can we count on 100 people for sure?
yeah.
I'm like, and find a place. Like, I don't know if working with Commerce, we could
I was
find,
gonna say, that's-
I guess maybe we could use the, what is it, Richardson Center maybe? But, like I said, I don't even know if that's gonna be big enough, really. Because like they were saying, they were making it sound like it needed to be big.
Well, Richardson does have 2 dining rooms, so that might,
We've had them at our church, so one of the dining rooms at Richardson would be play, unless it's changed.
And like I said, they made it sound like it needed to be like they were like gymnasium, large office space, or what was the other one? Conference center, and I'm like,
No.
I don't know if I have anything that really qualifies as any of those.
Maybe the vet they had ours, well, of course, we had an atrium, but they didn't use it, but it's probably double the size of this room, maybe.
Maybe they just counted like the square footage, like
But that,
it
it could
continues.
change now because of COVID too, maybe you have to be,
And that's what I didn't get. They wouldn't give me like why. There was no why other than they needed privacy and they needed separate rooms. And that was the
yeah, because usually it's just the.
just like little
Partial, like,
partition.
yeah, partition.
Yeah, I was like, well, what do you mean? How private? They're like, what needs to be private? I'm like, the other side of the wall, like.
Yeah, they changed, because like, when we did them at World Lake Lodge, we were just down in the basement, and like, they came, looked at the space worked, right? And, but, we gave them measurements and stuff before they got there, so like, with what we've got down here, when I talked to them, they're like, yeah, this isn't gonna work, so yeah. But, yeah, like you said, the people, you gotta get signed up too, like, that's another aspect. Like, I think getting people's fine, but the space problem we're gonna run into. Getting people to get signed up, I think everyone likes to give blood, but like, the size is the problem.
And I just don't think, like, with how small the community is, I mean, it's a big community, but I just don't think we're
we
going to
can
get.
go outside their borders. Their blood's okay too.
Yeah, but like I said, I just don't, I don't know.
It's just hard, yeah.
I-
Our
It is
reach
hard,
and our
yeah. It's hard
advertising
to
reach
get
and
that
our
commitment,
promotional
too.
reach.
And if they put additional restrictions out too, like, sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no, it's not, yeah. Because that's what it is, that's the other thing, like, they said 20% of people are gonna not even make it because of restrictions, like, they're just not even gonna qualify. They'll show up and they won't even be able to do it.
Right.
So,
Looking,
it would be like a lot of advertising, so they have to at least be, I guess, they said like 6 to 8 months is what they recommended, for you to, like, look.
Wow.
So that's what they're,
we don't have anything 6 to 8 months.
that's what I was like, okay, that's like really long off, like, that's, people will, it was so long off, people will forget that it's gonna happen.
Moved, yeah.
Yeah.
Liaison reports, we have no one from planning, council liaison.
So we met last week. We appointed a couple people to the water board, which was good because they were running low on people. We made our first payment to ASI for the paving that was done, the first round. So the second round will come to us for this in the next meeting. Generally speaking, Engineer Powell was happy with the results, so that's always good to hear. We did buy some hardware for the office, the computers, and all that kind of stuff, so that workstations and a new server. That was all installed on Friday. That's probably why the phones were out today, just so you guys know. That was probably why. So, but that was much needed. Their stuff was old. We discussed speed humps, which are not speed bumps. They are the long ones instead that run. And we would be putting those like near Wolverine Drive, Penny Lake area, and then on Dunreath to help reduce the potential for cut-throughs. Because what people do is they cut through on Wolverine and they zip down Dunreath to get through Lad.
Yeah,
And these
So where they
speed
gonna
humps
put
would
them?
hopefully slow them down.
so like at the beginning of,
It would be
Penny
more
Lake?
than, no, it'd be, yeah, like right at the beginning there. And then, so like they're a speed hump, you can go over it at 25, it won't tear up your car.
yeah,
But it's not gonna be comfortable. So it's one of those kinds of ideas that we're looking for. And they're removable for the winter. Speed bumps are not removable, hence can't manage more
They like,
legal issues there too. with
they
the
look
federal
plastic,
government.
but they're probably not.
Yeah, they're probably
plastic.
like a composite material, yeah. But, so,
so you said speed humps, they wouldn't be able to remove.
they would be.
Oh, they
Speed
would
bumps
be.
cannot be removed, and that's why we can't have that in other issues with road regulations.
I think that's a great idea.
So that would be, yeah, that would be nice, and so we're gonna test out, it looks like 2 to start, because they're not cheap, and figuring out how to install them, and do you go through the road, or do you go on the sides of the roads to install them, and all these kinds of things, but,
How much are they?
I wanna say it was about 2,500 pop, give or take. I think we
Not as
approved
bad as I thought.
4,500 for them?
For them,
So
for
we'll
them to be
see.
removable too? Like-
Yeah, so we'll see, and see how long they last as well.
Right?
We had a nice discussion about the Byzantine Boardwalk and what to do with it in terms of, how to maintain it better, because there's been a lot of issues. One thing we are doing is using longer screws now, which will hopefully keep those boards in place better.
It's winter.
I mean, it's hard because it's a wooden thing, and it's
So is it
exposed to the
sa-
elements.
Is it
It's
safe to
exposed
use,
salt. Oh,
or-
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's safe to use, but there's been a higher rate of board pops and
Yeah.
warping and things like that happening.
And that
so
has been happening more the last couple of years, I'd
it's,
say.
right, so it's.
But it's getting
what can you
old.
do? So the debate is, you can't just swap you can do a full-scale replacement of
The full top.
walking board, let's say, and replace them, say, with composite, like with Trex, but that's gonna be expensive.
Yeah.
Really expensive. And you can't just, so you can't just swap and you can't just swap those in, because Trex is more compact. So it's not the same thickness, so you'd have a billion dripping hazards. So
Yeah.
it's not an easy thing to do. There's not a ton of grants, but we're gonna look to see if there are. And for now, the goal is to have a more proactive maintenance plan, a more proactive assessment, regularly assessing the boardwalk. I was talking to Dave about it today, too. And then perhaps, I was thinking, too, maybe we start looking into more often treating the wood. Because
Oh,
that was one thing that hadn't been done until 2020. And so,
Oh.
think about your deck. If you had a wood deck and you treated it for 15 years, how would it look?
What is the success since we've treated it? Do you know exactly?
Well, that was the thing. It seems like it's soaked up everything that was.
Really, the last 2
Sprayed
years,
on it.
it's been the worst.
So
it's ever
that's what's
been.
funny, because they treated it, for the first time, they did this treatment in 2020. And the last 2 years have been the worst years. But then again, you're talking about boards that are 16 years old
Yeah.
and weren't treated until then. And it may have been, is it too late? Is it?
Did you seal it in there? Did you
Right.
seal
Plus,
it?
we've had vandalism with some of the spindles and things like that as well.
Oh,
So,
yeah, I mean, you've seen that people could like kick out
Yeah, kids
certain
are
ones.
kicking them out so they can fish and things like that.
Yeah.
It's a frustrating thing, but at the same time, it's
But the
a
spindles-
great product, great thing we have.
The spindle's going bad, I mean, I can see that can happen.
Yeah,
That can-
it's gonna happen.
It's gonna
Oh,
happen.
it's
But
gonna
when the,
happen.
when the, like, I mean, certain boards, like, I'd say within weeks, you'll notice,
Yeah.
you'll peel up.
And that's where the frustration is. And so we need to be more proactive on addressing it. If anybody is looking to get their sewer installed, the good news is, we got a new quote from our supplier for the grinders, and they dropped their price from, their early quote was $5,486. Mike Powell, our engineer, had gone out to another person to get a quote, and so then our supplier dropped their price to $4,370. So $1,100, and we didn't have to switch or anything like that.
Nice.
How much
So-
more is labor?
I'm sorry?
I'm kidding, I said how much more is labor?
Oh,
No, that's good, that's
Yeah,
good.
You can find out after they install
They
it.
hadn't raised their prices in a long time, and then all of a sudden they raised their prices like 60% or something, so it was one of those where we kind of went, wow.
No, that's good.
So hopefully,
Good job.
work there. And I'll just say here, in case, I'm assuming I emailed you guys, of course, a lot of council members were, and everybody there was remembering the Mike Kondak, our retiring treasurer, who unfortunately passed away on July 3rd. So that was, it was a weird meeting for Mike not to be there and things. And so we've all been struggling with that, and they've really upstairs. He was an institution up there with everybody and got along so well as well. So that was a big thing. It was just, it was really hard. But Jen has stepped up, Jen Hansen, our new treasurer, and so far been really handling things well, especially because it was the billing cycle was awkward because it was the previous fiscal year and the new fiscal year was this last payment structure, payment plan, 2 weeks of payment. And so 1 week was on last year's payments, bless you, and then 1 week's was this new updated where the raises go into effect. So she had to basically do 2 sets of payments instead of one, and she had to have a headache. I mean, there's just no way you can dealing with all that stuff. So, yeah, that was about what we did last week in council.
Crazy tiki night. Crazy tiki night.
That went well. There was one car towed,
One car?
just one.
That's
According to the
surprising.
chief.
What was this?
Only one car was towed on TV night.
Oh, TV
So,
night.
that
I
went
thought you
well.
said Tuesday. I'm like, what
And
was Tuesday?
overall, yeah, people seem pretty happy with that. Yeah.
Carlos Park and Rec.
Hello.
Hey.
So I guess the big thing to remind the Woven Lake residents that at the,
He's got a mic for you.
sorry. Okay, so at the Commerce Parks and Recs, they're holding their concert in the park series. So I don't know if any of you have gone there yet, but it's rain or shine. So I know the first day it rained, but then the concert was dry. And then last Friday it sprinkled the whole time. It was still fun. So we have some big bands playing for the next 3 Fridays, but it's every Friday till August 5th
Okay.
at 7 p.m. at the Richardson Center. And there's food trucks. It's like this Friday, there's the Bavarian Inn has a chicken food truck, and they will be there.
Okay.
So it's 7 p.m. And I'm trying to think of, last month we went through the Robert Long Park just to kind of assess maintaining bridges and pavilions. And that's pretty much it for, I guess, like what would be affected for Wolverine Lake Village for right now. So, but yeah, come every month to most months to kind of collaborate between the two. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments from board members?
Yeah, I just want to say to Mike Conduct's family, I'm sincerely sorry for your loss. I never really had the opportunity to talk to Mike or really talk, have conversation, just kind of passing. We've talked, but I know he's done a lot for this village, and I know a lot of people in this room have knew him. So I just wanted to, say my sincerest loss to you, your family, and all the village, the people that are here in the village that knew him. I didn't know him very well, but I knew he had a big impact on a lot of people around here. So I just want to say that.
Oh, yeah, just I attended the Rotary 76th anniversary yesterday, and it was a really nice event. That went really well. They had the Peace Pool there. Their 4 languages are Nepalese, English, Gaelic, which is because they picked because of a lot of people who came to this area, and then Ukrainian. And we will be doing the dedication for that on September 10th at the Corner Roast. So they'll probably be coming out there. They may have a table and things like that as well. The Rotary. They do a lot of rewards yesterday, recognizing people doing just tremendous work, putting in incredible hours, just donating their time, including one of them was Debbie Ellsworth, the wife of Chief Ellsworth, and her work with the Packing Party and Military Families United. So that was really great. And I got this purple pinky, paid to Pinky for donating for one of their major goals since they were founded was the elimination of polio. And so they got it pretty good. There was 2 cases last year, but this is part of their fundraise to further wipe that out. And part of the reason why there is no polio is because they keep aggressively trying to address it. And I think it's Afghanistan is the only place where it's still there. So it was a great event, and they do great work. And just, it was very nice to attend.
Awesome.
Anybody else?
No?
Thank you all for being here, even if you had to get a ride.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Mark. Yeah, thanks, Mark, for the ride, too. I'll
Thank you to everybody who
read that
waited
in
for
the
us.
comments. Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Motion to adjourn?
Yeah, motion
Second
to.
that motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Next meeting is August 15th.